Excellent. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. I'm Steve Fecto from Talent Development and Learning, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to our July episode 2025 of Beyond the Badge. This is our fourth season of Beyond the Badge. I know many of you are first-time viewers here to cheer on an honoree that you work with, a family member, a colleague, that you're here coming for the first time to see this event and this story. But I really welcome back our regular audience who ends up being the leadership community across the health system who are proud to see you all be celebrated and to witness these stories of excellence every single month. It is really something our leadership team comes back across our health system to view month after month, to be inspired by the excellent stories that role model what it means to be a Mount Sinai employee. So thank you all for joining us. I know our audience is still filing in these first couple minutes, but I do want to give a quick intro as to what Beyond the Badge is all about for our new audience members. So every single day, there is a daily huddle, a system daily huddle, where our most executive senior leadership from across our 48,000 employee health system come together for a quick operations huddle to make sure we're set for a high quality, safe, and exceptional day across Mount Sinai. Now, each day there's a pause. And like I'm pausing right now, it looks like in my camera here. There's a pause in every single huddle where one leader knows it's their opportunity to celebrate an employee. And they take their moment. They say, what is the best story I have from our facility, from our work that really promotes what is excellent about the work we do here at Mount Sinai? And they chose the stories that you're going to hear today. In May, we collected all of these stories thanks to our partners who lead that part of the huddle: Rebecca Anderson, Swati Garg, Joseph Mari, Hillary Polly. They work through that, collect the stories, send them to us. And we're so excited that we get to both share them with you, but also bring those people up on screen to comment and respond to the stories we're going to share. So I'm really excited to jump into these stories. They're going to be read by members of our Spotlight Committee. These are the folks who around our health system are so committed and dedicated to the human experience. A lot of them work in patient experience fields and also employee experience and engagement, and really do care about the people who work at Mount Sinai. So they have the honor and privilege of sharing these stories with you. And then I'm joined by my colleagues backstage. Thank you to Alyssa, G, and Andrea, Michael, Joseph, and someone having a birthday today. Happy birthday to Jessica Rubin. They're making sure everyone's coming up to join me, that anxious and excited audience backstage, to jump into these stories. Now, finally, your role. You can participate. We often see 500 to 600 comments in our chat. I've already seen some of my good friends who are always out there, like Mariana Puglisi and Erica Rubenstein, posting in there. Hey, Amy, out there. Jump into that chat. Set it to everyone. Cheer on the people on screen. Not just the people you're here for, but let everyone know what you appreciate from the story and what they share. There's a resources tab that has our program and some quick information about each speaker. And with that, it's time to jump into it. Now, I always love to start, before we get into our stories, I mentioned our leaders are out there. They're the ones that come back month after month. And I love to start with introducing a pair of them to start each episode. So today, I got two great ones. I want to give a chance to say hello and welcome our audience. First up, we always have so many nurses involved in Beyond the Badge, such great nursing stories. I'm going to go to one of our nurse leaders. Dr. Larissa Richards is our Deputy Chief Nursing Officer and Vice President of Nursing Operations at the Mount Sinai Hospital, a big supporter of everything nurse engagement around our system. Larissa, thanks for being here. I'd love to give you a chance to say hello and welcome our audience today.
Hi, Steve. Thank you for having me. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, actually. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be here today to celebrate all of you. I've been working here at Mount Sinai for the past 24 years, and what I love most about Mount Sinai is the people. And the feeling of belonging and never feeling alone. In my current role, I have the pleasure of witnessing the compassion and expertise of the multidisciplinary teams that goes above and beyond to uphold Mount Sinai Health System vision and mission, making Mount Sinai a truly exceptional place to work and receive care. I'm looking forward to hearing all of your stories and the difference you're making every day in our patients' and families' life. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Lord, you're going to love these stories. I look forward to seeing you picking out some of those things you're hearing to say, like, yes, 24 years, this is the culture that I know is real about Mount Sinai, that I look to promote among our nursing teams. Yeah, I know you're going to really enjoy all these real life stories that are coming out today.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for being here and supporting. And another I'd love to introduce someone taking on who's also a veteran Mount Sinai colleague, but in a new role. Dr. Eric Nestler is our interim dean of the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. He's also our executive vice president and chief scientific officer for the health system and the Nash Family Professor of Neuroscience and Psychiatry. And I know Dr. Nestler from many visits to the neuroscience department when he would be very involved in recognizing employees through an old school employee recognition program we had long before Beyond the Badge. So I know a very passionate supporter of employee celebrations and recognition. Dr. Nestler, thank you so much for joining us today. I'd love to cue you up to welcome our audience.
Absolutely, Steve. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me. Just for the folks, I've been at Mount Sinai for about 17 years now. I came as director of the Friedman Brain Institute, became dean for academic and scientific affairs, and as Steve mentioned, I've been interim dean now for 3 weeks in my new role. I have absolutely loved my time at Mount Sinai. It's the best institution where I've worked, and that's because we all pride ourselves on the community that we've been able to build together. I see Mount Sinai as uniquely broad across clinical, research, educational missions. We have more than 45,000 people from all walks of life joining us from all areas of expertise coming together for one Mount Sinai. And I've been so impressed by everyone's commitment across all departments, offices, and campuses. I look forward to hearing more about this Beyond the Badge program. I remember the earlier versions of this that we did in real person and in life, in real life years ago. It's a wonderful way to say thank you to our best, to recognize people across Mount Sinai who contribute to making our institution very special. I want to congratulate today's honorees, their friends and families, and I look forward very much to hearing your stories. Steve, thank you again for having me, and I want to thank all the honorees for all the great work they do for Mount Sinai.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Nestler. I do know you're going to enjoy these stories. And I love that we have two leaders that came on to speak that have long careers at Mount Sinai who
Yep.
really understand with passion and pride what it means to work here and what makes us special. And these stories are exemplifications of that spirit and that we find a way purpose and all that makes Mount Sinai great. So I know you're going to enjoy it. Thanks so much for welcoming us. And let's jump into the stories. Now, these stories are in a few different categories. I always love to start with our patient stories. And we've got a couple of great ones. These come from patient letters that were submitted to us that leaders see and just say, yes, wow, what an incredible patient letter to start us off. I'm going to go to our first one, but I do want to point out there are some additional stories in our program. Not everyone can make it each month. They're busy with their work that they're doing in their units with their patients, or they're on PTO in the summer. There are 5 additional stories of people who couldn't make it that are in your program. So check out that program, download it, leave it open at the link that's in our resources tab. Check those out. There's a great one from Digital and Technology Partners for Lane Bloomberg. There's a story of a first-year resident talking about a nurse, John Frankelis, and how much they've learned from the nurse. That was in a star recognition. One for Deborah Ramos and how she proactively reached out to patients who had an insurance error that was not our fault. It was the insurance provider, and proactively went out to reassure them. It's a great story. Another spotlight is on Shanera Rivera, who makes patients and colleagues in orthopedics feel so welcome and appreciated. So it's a nice spotlight. And one more for Carolyn Sanchez, all around praise from patients, from colleagues, from leaders. Another excellent story. So check those out. But for now, let's jump into those who are here. We're going to start at Mount Sinai, South Nassau. I'm going to have my colleague out there, Olivia McGregor, come on. We've got a great story for Caitlin Coyle. Olivia, start us off.
Thank you, Steve, for the warm welcome. Assistant Nurse Manager Caitlin Coyle received a note of gratitude from a patient's daughter and wife. Caitlin and the D1 East team were integral in supporting not only this patient, but also his family on his end-of-life journey. The D1 East team prioritizes efforts to ensure that patients and families have privacy and are treated with the utmost dignity and respect during these challenging times. The patient's family wrote the following note for Caitlin. There are people who come into our lives and leave a mark so deep, so loving that we are forever changed. You are one of those people. You were such a light in that last week of my father's life. You made my father feel loved and safe. You gave my mother comfort, strength, and peace when we needed it most. You are more than a nurse. You are a beautiful soul who has walked beside us with care and compassion. Thank you now and always. So thank you to Caitlin for all that you do for our patients, families, and staff, and for your compassionate leadership.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything more powerful than hearing the emotional words of a family member writing a letter like this. And Caitlin, it's just a beautiful story that began with leadership recognizing the D1E team for how they prioritize efforts to ensure patients and families are treated with the utmost dignity and respect during these challenging times. I'm wondering if you can talk to us and describe what that looks like on D1E and what you think made the difference in this particular story for this family.
Yeah, sorry, very emotional. Thank you for this recognition. I really appreciate it. I honestly couldn't. This is like the team that I work with here on D1E. So they are so amazing. From the manager to the staff, the nurses, PCTs, we all work together really well to deliver like the best care. And I think that truly makes a difference, especially for the situation. We really try to make the patients and the families feel like they're one of our family, and we welcome them with open arms. And I think that was really felt with this situation. The patient, as you heard, was transitioned to comfort care. So they obviously didn't make it, but we eased we had comfort them with made sure they were clean at all times, make sure they were pain free. And they clearly felt that, which really makes the job so rewarding and just shows we're all in the right field because of this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're in the right field, Caitlin,
Yeah.
and thank you. And it's okay to be emotional. That's what Beyond the Badge is. The biggest mistake I've made today is I left my tissues about 10 feet out of reach because
Yeah.
I know I'd always need them for Beyond the Badge. But really wonderful. And you know what you're talking about, we really see the human experience. We've moved on from, not just saying patient experience, but human experience. And we see it, you're caring for the patient, but here's the family talking about how you'll always be in their minds and their memories for how you help them through this time as well. And that really does illustrate the human experience at Mount Sinai. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you, Olivia. Look at the hearts fluttering up on your screen. Keep it coming. We're going to go to another patient letter. I love this We Find a Way related story. We're going to go to Mount Sinai West. We'll have my colleague Andres Marrera come up. We've got a trio, Dr. Michael Smith, Michelle Ng, and Valerie Gray. Valerie's on vacation. She's a part of this team. I know Dr. Smith is eager to congratulate her as part of this group. Let's bring Andres up to share this story, and we'll bring Dr. Smith up as well. There we go.
Thank you, Steve, and congratulations to all the awardees, and especially excited to recognize this extraordinary team at West. When a patient's gastroenterologist in upstate New York were no longer able to treat her significant medical complexities, they were referred to Mount Sinai under the care of Dr. Michael Smith and nurse practitioner Michelle Ng. At the time, while suffering from celiac, EOE, and chronic constipation, the patient was 21 years old and barely 75 pounds. The patient's mother writes, quote, "From the moment she became their patient, they made a very fluid medical treatment plan that resulted in very positive results. They truly left no stone unturned looking for remediation and a better way of life. Thanks to their efforts, our daughter now lives with much less chronic pain and discomfort. She has gone from eating only one or two foods, living with chronic fatigue, loss of appetite, and struggling with anxiety and depression, to being able to enjoy restaurants, gain a healthy 25 pounds, take vocational classes, and drive a car. It is the only wish of a mother to have a child who is happy and healthy. You gave me both of these wishes and have my eternal thanks and gratitude."
Wow, thank you, Andres. And like I said, this is an absolute We Find a Way story where other healthcare teams were at a loss. Mount Sinai doctors find a way. And here we see the life-changing impact on a real patient and a real family. So I'd love to go to the both of you and ask if you can speak to how you understand and empathize with what your patients are experiencing, and then how your care helps improve their quality of life, as we heard about in this story.
Well, thanks, Steve. And really, this is a team effort. We find a way, but we find a way as a team, especially for these patients who come to our Center for GI Physiology and Motility who have seen 2, 3, 4, 5 other physicians. They've gone on for years without a diagnosis, without a treatment plan that's actually provided, improvement and significant results in their quality of life. And you can hear from the mom's letter how much it affected, their ability to function well as a family. And so we tell all of our patients that when they come to see us, we join their family and they join ours. And we really work together to figure out what the patient's priorities are. We recognize that the patient isn't just the person whose name is on the chart, but it's really everybody affected by the illness. And we work continually to trim the sails and adjust the course as needed based on as new results come in, and we learn more about the patient, and they share things that sometimes they didn't even realize we're part of the situation, and maybe a key clue to figuring out what the right answer is, how much to make the right intervention that really makes a difference for the patient.
I love that we find a way together, and I love we're a part of your family too. Just incredible messages. Michelle, did you want to add in anything on behalf of the group?
No, just echoing what Mike said. Yeah, I forgot actually that there was so much that has transpired with this patient. But actually, the good news is she's now a medical assistant. So I guess we inspired her to take part of, in medicine. But
Wow.
yeah, I mean, the nursing part of this is important too, because I think a lot of times they need more specialized attention. But hers is a complicated case, and I think the medical part, the adjustments that we made helped a lot. So I'm happy for her.
And Steve, it's so important to recognize the continuity of care and connection that Michelle and our administrative assistant Valerie Gray really played in this patient and their family's situation when there were urgent situations where the condition changed and we needed to do something quickly. Having the two of them be points of contact when I might be doing procedures and not immediately available made all the difference in the world. And it's important to shout out the two of them, not just being the physician who's the initial point of contact, but really everybody on the team that provides care. And I think that's a message you're going to hear all throughout the day today.
I think you're right. It is. It does take that teamwork. That is why it is one of our Mount Sinai values that I always have ready at the hand. And you made an excellent illustration of why that teamwork is so important for the patient and the family. Thank you both so much. It's been a pleasure to share this. Thank you for all you do. Very inspiring story.
Thank you.
All right. And with that, I'm going to take a quick break for something special before we move on to our next story. Andres, we're going to drop you off and come back. I got to make a point to say this was a milestone moment at Beyond the Badge. That story you just heard was our 800th story at Beyond the Badge. So we're celebrating a little bit today for Beyond the Badge here. 800 stories in now our 41st episode. And while that is amazing and incredible that we've been able to be touched and inspired so many times, I don't want it to sound like it's watering down each individual story. I'm one of 800 that have been shared. That is over 4 years. We have a 48,000 employee system. There are thousands of incredible stories like the ones you're hearing today happening every single day. So these really are still the cream of the crop that are coming across our leaders who each day they're choosing that one that they're most inspired by to share. So continue to share this. Let me know in the chat what I should do for 1,000 besides the confetti that'll take me 3 hours to clean up. But we're going to move on. Andres, come on back. We're going from West to Morningside next. And we have Emily Acosta and Tara Rodriguez as a partnership up there. Mount Sinai Morningside Ambulatory Leadership recognize them. And Emily's there. She pop. There we go. Yes. Let's start it up, Andres.
Thank you so much again. And story 801, and couldn't be more proud to recognize Emily and Tara. So Tara and Emily are remarkable members of the cardiac surgery administrative team who bring empathy, creativity, and heartfelt care to every person they encounter. Recently, during a post-operative visit, a patient shared she was heading straight to the courthouse to get married that day. While joyful, she also felt unprepared for this meaningful moment. Tara and Emily, recognizing the moment's significance, created a beautiful bouquet for her to carry. The patient was visibly moved and teary-eyed as she thanked them with deep appreciation. They recently brought the same spirit to a colleague, organizing a heartfelt and creative baby shower to celebrate one of our newest cardiac surgeons. By recognizing both patients and colleagues as whole people and creating moments of genuine connection, Tara and Emily helped define the culture of the cardiac surgery department. In a space where we care for the hearts of our patients, they remind us how important it is to care for each other's hearts too. Congratulations to you both.
Thank you for having us.
Wonderful, Tara and Emily, two great examples. And I just want to ask you, both these creative expressions you did for a colleague and for a patient, what inspires you to be so creative and giving when you spot these impromptu opportunities to say, I can bring joy into the lives of others, like we saw in these two stories? And how do you bring that heart and spirit, not only in these moments, but every day to what you do?
I guess I'll go first. So I think what inspires me is the belief that even the smallest acts of kindness can change someone's day or even life. He had cardiac surgery. We're a small but mighty department, and we have patients that come from many different walks of life. And I always tell them, you're not coming in for bunion removal, you're coming in for open heart surgery, which is major surgery. So to be able to provide them that reassurance that they're not a number or a patient, and that we're here for them. And we're here for them not only before surgery, but after surgery, and to just give them that sense of peace and let them know that we're here and we see them as people as well, not just
here
a
for them
patient.
professionally and personally to make these
Yes,
personal moments
exactly.
count. Emily, did you want to add anything to that?
We know patients coming in, is very scary to hear that you need open heart surgery. A lot of patients share their personal stories with us. So we take that into accountability and say, what can we do to make them feel more comfortable, at ease, knowing that they're going into having surgery. Once they come out, they feel such a relief. They feel like they can trust us, it's more than just a patient. They become family. Yeah.
Right. And it's clearly you really understand who your patients are, what they deal with emotionally.
Yes.
They're about to go through, and you're there before, after, and you make that personal connection. A great example of two of our values: agility in the moment to say, this is an opportunity, I can do something, and that takes creativity to do. And beyond just what you've shared in these two examples, clearly you bring this to all of your patients, and that's just really remarkable to hear.
Yes, we are what we're surrounded by at CT surgery. So we have great leadership, amazing nurse practitioners that we work hand in hand with, our surgeons. So we're big on celebrating each other at every opportunity that we can.
Another great quote. We are who we're surrounded by. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much to both of you. Emily and Tara, everybody, congratulations. I'm so glad we got to share this story and see you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Andres, we're going to bring you back in a little while. We got more stories from West and Morningside to come. We are going to go next into a story from Mount Sinai, Queens. So let's bring Zachary Key up. He's got a trio: Chelsea Romero, Lillian Espinoza, and Caroline Kay. They're all here. There they are. Hello, welcome. And there's Zach. Why don't you share this story for us?
Awesome. It's my honor to share this story from this amazing team. But the story reads, this interdisciplinary social work team of Chelsea Romero, Caroline Kay, and Lillian Espinoza cared for a critically ill patient, a 40-year-old immigrant from Mexico, during his final days. Chelsea worked closely with his shelter, while Caroline and Lillian partnered with the Mexican consulate in New York to ensure his cultural and personal dignity were upheld. Together, they arranged a deeply meaningful visit with the representative from the Mexican consulate and two members from the shelter just hours before he passed peacefully. During his death, the consulate praised the team's humanity and vowed to locate his family. Within days, they found his sister in Mexico, and our team then helped coordinate the reparation of his ashes. This story is a powerful reminder that in moments of loss, our commitment to dignity, compassion, and cross-cultural collaboration can create meaningful impact. It highlights the vital role that every member of our team plays, not just in providing medical care, but in honoring the humanity of those we serve. Congratulations, team.
Right. Really interesting and insightful story and unique story. And I want to go to the trio here. Can someone stand up and tell us your perspective of this story? How did it feel for you within these moments? What did you focus on? What was highlighted in this story is you provided dignity, compassion, and humanity in caring for this patient. What did that look like from your perspective?
Good afternoon. First of all, thank you, Caroline. Chelsea and I are deeply honored to receive this Beyond the Badge recognition for our social work role in our patients' care. Our patient was indeed in a very vulnerable situation, not having a capacity to participate in his care without any family or friends. He had a terminal illness and was undocumented in a very unfriendly social political climate. In such situations, we, the social worker team, became not only his advocates, but like his family. Our duty extends definitely beyond assistance. It was providing enhanced compassionate advocacy on his behalf. By collaborating with the shelter and the Mexican consulate, we were able to determine this man's real identity and reconnect him with the family in Mexico and ensure that he experienced a dignified and peaceful end of life. For us social workers, our role is not just a profession. It really is a call of duty. And we're grateful that Mount Sinai holds such great values and support us in finding a way when there seems to be no way.
Yeah.
It is profound. It is a profound privilege to have been able to serve this young man and many others like him. To have been able to make a difference in his life, to have been able to provide him with the care, respect, and dignity that he deserved in his most vulnerable times of his life. We're very grateful.
Thank you. So said so well on behalf of this trio and your work, and I love what you said for this patient and for all. These stories that you're hearing to our audience, these are single examples coming from people who bring this heart into their work, and this empathy is what I heard from this story of how you saw this person and pushed and said, we're going to become their family when they have none. And so maybe the third time already we've heard how people have become the family for these patients and become part of their family. So I do see this as another We Find a Way story as well. It's incredible work. Highlight to you and to all our social workers who do this work across our health system. Yeah. And we're so glad we got to share it and celebrate this story today and celebrate you. All right. Thanks so much. And thank you, Zach. We're moving on. If you haven't noticed, we did switch categories in our program to stories of excellence. As you hear, these are stories that are these one-time kind of incredible moments that have happened that we wanted to share, these really interesting one-time stories. But again, it opens up us to get to meet people in their complete body of work that they do every day. The next story that is another story of excellence comes from our pharmacy leadership, and it's for Kevin Scott, who we're going to bring up. Now, Kevin is in a corporate role here in pharmacy. Or pharmacy leadership recognized him for this work. But this took place down at Mount Sinai Beth Israel during the closure. So I'm going to have my colleague, Christine Pescator, who has always been a part of that BI community, continues to do so at New York Eye and Ear and downtown. Christine, why don't you have the honor of sharing this story for Kevin?
Thank you. And thank you so much, Steve, for inviting me to share this story today in honor of Kevin. Just a few months ago, into his new role as pharmacy manager for regulatory and compliance, Kevin Scott was asked to take the additional responsibility of managing the Mount Sinai Beth Israel pharmacy and preparing it for closure. Without hesitation, Kevin responded, "Whatever you need." While balancing his regulatory responsibilities, Kevin's swift and efficient actions were instrumental in maintaining operations at MSBI. Once the official notice to close MSBI was received, Kevin and the pharmacy team stepped up in an extraordinary way. Over the course of just 5 days, including the weekend, this incredible team packed and transferred over $500,000 in drug inventory to our sister hospital pharmacies. They also unloaded and tagged more than 20 Pyxis machines and identified additional pharmacy equipment that could be redeployed across other sites. This was truly a team effort that exemplifies commitment, excellence, and collaboration. Thank you for all you do going above and beyond. A special thank.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
go ahead. Yeah, read off these other names for me, Christine. There were some other team members since we said for the team. We did get some names of some folks that were involved here.
Yes, we did. A special thanks to those who helped, including Salma Hudi, Juan Alexander, Ariel Ortiz, Raul Guraj, Harshmeet Chawa, Ken Pawa, and Heather Brenner.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Christine. Kevin, do you and your team please continue to, if they're not watching, to extend our thanks to them as well. And I'd love to hear your perspective of this example, this story, on how you and this team committed to ensuring a smooth and effective pharmacy transition throughout a challenging Mount Sinai Beth Israel closure.
First and foremost, thank you everybody for having me and honoring me. I think now hearing this, I didn't realize how huge of an undertaking it was when you're in it. First and foremost, I have to say how we got through this is with strong leadership. So thank you, Joe Pinto, who is our VP and my direct boss, for taking the opportunity to allow me to be in this role and actually do the work. And especially being new in the role and closing a hospital. Also, I think, we were able to accomplish this because we had such a strong team. Again, with teamwork, we were able to meet the need and get everything that we needed done. Again, where things could be really chaotic and tensions were high, but we kept the communication open and everybody helped pitch in and balance everything out. So it was amazing.
Yeah, really excellent, Kevin, and thank you. It's funny, I hear it a lot on Beyond the Badge. People just think, well, I'm just doing my job. I didn't think anything of it. And then when you see it written out in red, like, oh, wow, this is what leaders saw of the impact. And to hear it kind of said that way or from that perspective, I hope you do see why our leadership team was so proud to share the great work you did and you did with your team. So please, again, extend your thanks to your team. It's a very unique situation that very few people have experience doing of closing of a hospital. So there isn't a template to go from, and that takes innovation and creativity and agility as well. And I'm glad we got to share this and hear this story.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much, Kevin. And thank you, Christine. And we will move to our next story now. I unfortunately to say that Nicole Oliveira, wonderful employee. I actually remember her from getting a award back in 2009 in that program. Dr. Nessler remembers that we used to do. She's a business associate, truly outstanding. She had an emergency come up, couldn't make it today, so we're sorry. Her story is not in writing in the program. I just want to give a quick shout out. She stayed with an aphasic patient for over 30 minutes to discover what the patient was trying to express. This was a star written of how impressed a colleague was to see how she handled this. The patient was upset and frustrated, but Nicole was able to reassure her and showed her through her compassion, through her empathy, that the patient's concerns were valued despite the language deficits. So Nicole used creative skills to finally discover and help address the patient's concerns. And please join me in celebrating Nicole Oliveira for that excellent story. We're sorry she couldn't make it last second, but we're going to go on to our next section, which is appreciation for colleagues. A lot of these come from star recognition stories. We leave our star link right in our resources tab there. It's a great way for you to celebrate a colleague. And to kick us off, I'm going to go to a new presenter on our team. Many of you at Mount Sinai Hospital know our nurse manager, Kimberly DeLeon, and Kim is now in her new role as a director of patient experience at the hospital. So congrats and welcome into your new role, Kim. And we're going to give you the honor of sharing some Mount Sinai Hospital stories today. We're going to start that off with Lonnie Paban, who is from Mount Sinai Health System's laboratory leadership. Recognize Lonnie. She works at Mount Sinai Hospital. So let's go to that story, Kim.
All right, I'm so excited to share with you and really honored to share with you this inspiring story from the Mount Sinai Hospital. The Department of Pathology Clinical Lab Secretary, Lani Pabon, joined Mount Sinai in 1997, but she often jokes that since she was born at Mount Sinai, she's been here her whole life. Departmental leadership praised Lani, saying Lani never says no to taking on tasks. In fact, she always goes above and beyond, often saying, I'm on PTO, but text me. Or, I'm walking to the mailroom, but transfer the phones to my cell. She never skips a beat. Lani not only directly supports the leadership team, but is also key at performing critical department tasks, such as contracting. In addition to her actual duties, Lani can often be found planning events and activities for staff recognition. Her commitment is unwavering. Legacy staff like Lani are wayfinders, conduit to relationships with other departments, and Mount Sinai historians. We are proud and grateful to have Lani on our team.
Thank you so much. Lenny, a veteran here since 97. I like the term legacy staff, someone who really understands who we are at Mount Sinai. And I love that they know you've spent, or is this your comment, that you've spent your entire life here as someone born at Mount Sinai?
My entire life.
Love that. So as someone who's, praised for your unwavering commitment, how would you describe the commitment that you feel and that you bring into your work every day in the work you do in the clinical labs?
Well, I bring a deep sense of responsibility and dedication to my work in the clinical labs every day. I understand that accuracy, efficiency, and integrity of what we do directly impacts patient care. That drives me to stay focused, uphold the highest standards, and continually seek improvement. I take pride in being part of a team that supports diagnosis and treatment through reliable lab results, and I treat each task, whether routine or complex, with the same level of care and professionalism. My commitment is not just to the lab itself, but to the patients.
Love it. So well said. And this is what we, when I help host New Beginnings orientation for new employees when they come in, you haven't been in that in 28 years since you joined us or for your whole life since you were born. What does it mean to recognize we all impact the patients in every role and to start that you see your role in the clinical labs, that you couldn't do it without thinking of the patient. I do it for the patients and all of the patients, every single, like you said, complex or simple, excellence always. It matters.
Always.
I'm perfect in that integrity. So everything you just said, wrap it up. Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
What we really look to inspire within all of our colleagues.
Thank you. Thank you for this honor.
Thank you so much, Lonnie. And thank you, Kim. Now, Kim, we had another one for Aikisha coming up. She's not here yet. She's a transporter. She's likely out and about all over our health system. We're going to hold on to see if she makes it a little later on. In case she doesn't, a quick shout out to Aikisha Perry. It was a great story in the emergency department where she came as a transporter, and she was the one that was able to build the trust with a patient who was refusing a scan, was able to calm them down, talk with them, encourage them, and break through until they were compliant and went in for the important scans that they needed. If she does make it back in time, we'll bring her on. But in the meantime, Kim, we'll come back to you for a couple later on. Let's go to another emergency department story. We're going to go out to Mount Sinai, Brooklyn. Katrina Bravo is ready for a story for Ladian Holalari, who I was talking with earlier. There we go, Ladian. And Katrina, share this wonderful story from Mount Sinai, Brooklyn.
Congratulations to everyone so far. So during Nurses Month, which was in June, the emergency department nursing staff expressed appreciation for their nursing director, saying, Ledian Halilari is the picture of excellence in nursing leadership. Deeply respected and genuinely admired by his staff, he brings not only clinical expertise, but compassion and empathy to every aspect of his role. His honesty, clear communication, and constant support help build trust and teamwork within the group. Ledian leads with dignity and ensures that every individual, patient, family member, or colleague is treated with the utmost respect and humanity. His ability to think critically under pressure, paired with clear and thoughtful communication, allows him to guide his team through even the most complex challenges. Ledian is more than a leader. He is an inspiration, and his dedication and commitment to excellence has helped to build a meaningful and lasting impression on those fortunate enough to work with him. Thank you, Ledian.
Yeah, thanks, Katrina. Ledian, I love that this is such a kind and inspiring message to hear from your own team, pouring their hearts out as to why they value you and appreciate you as a leader. And, I love that they even said you're more than a leader, you're an inspiration. Like, what a great way to know this is how your team views you and the impact you have on them. And I wonder if you can describe, the type of leader you strive to be for this team and for your patients.
First of all, thank you, Stephen, and congratulations to everyone. It is a true honor for me to be, and a privilege for me to be here today. But also, it is a bigger privilege for me to be able to lead an amazing team such as the one that I have here at Mount Sinai Brooklyn. It is because of them that I'm here being recognized today and the great work that they do every day, and they inspire me. As a leader, I strive to lead with empathy, integrity, and a deep sense of purpose. I aim to create an environment where everyone feels and is heard, valued, and empowered to grow. Not professionally, but also personally. I believe the best leaders are mentors, listeners, and collaborators. As my office is on the unit, as many of you who have visited Brooklyn know, I have an open door policy so staff can have access to me at any time. For my staff and patients, I want to be someone they can trust, someone that advocates for them and sees them as a whole team. Leading with compassion, consistency, and a clear communication are key to my success. Ultimately, I hope to lead by example, to show that strength and kindness can go hand in hand, and that doing the right thing, even when it's hard, it always matters. The last thing, I'll close it off with this, but the last thing that I tend to do every day, it's like a personal reflection before leaving the doors of, my department. I always take a second and think, did I do everything that I could possibly do today? And that's an honest question to myself, and if I feel that I have fulfilled those duties, then, it's been a good day. So, but
Right.
do thank you, all of you. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Well, it's a wonderful leadership model from the start of how you inspire with empathy and with a connection to purpose, that this is the important work we do, right to the end where you end your day. And there's probably some days where you say, no, I'm disappointed in myself. I should have done more, even though your team knows you did, you went all out for them, I'm sure. But, when you're that reflective and observant of yourself and always seeking that improvement, that's an incredible leadership style to have and technique to use as a leader. And I think that's clear why your staff appreciates you so much and values you. And I know your leadership is so excited to be here. I know our emergency medicine leaders are such regulars at this show. They're big supporters of any time there's an emergency medicine leader or staff member being celebrated. So thank them for being out there. And congratulations to you, Lydian. Thank you so much. We're going to go on to our next story. It comes from the network practices. So I'm going to go to my colleague, Rebecca Asmussen, who does great work celebrating our staff in the network. It is for Jason Jiang. And I know Jason was here early. Let's see if we can get him back on camera. There we go, Jason. All right, Rebecca, take it away.
Thanks, Steve. Medical biller Jason Jiang is someone who truly embodies what it means to be a team player and a leader. Jason is the kind of person who shows up every day ready to help, support, and uplift those around him. Whether it's jumping in to assist a teammate or patient, lending a hand when things get busy, or simply being a listening ear, Jason is always there. His dedication and work ethic will never go unnoticed, but what really sets him apart is the energy and unity he brings to the office. From organizing push-up contests and bringing in prizes for the winners, he finds fun and creative ways to keep our team connected, motivated, and smiling. His efforts to make everyone feel welcome and included have created a workplace culture his leaders and colleagues are proud to be a part of, and they thank him for his positivity, generosity, and for being the heart of a team.
Oh, I love that. Jason, your leadership thanks you for being the heart of the team. How would you describe the passion and the commitment you have for creating a welcoming, a supportive, a positive, and even sometimes a fun environment for your colleagues?
Yes, hello everyone. First of all, thank you so much for giving me this great opportunity to participate in Beyond the Badge and for this star recognition. I truly appreciate it. Creating a welcoming and supportive environment for my colleagues is something I care deeply about. Even though our work may seem like a solo task, it's really not. From the access center scheduling patient, front desk verifying insurance, MAs doing vitals, doctors getting reports, to claim submissions, each step is connected. If one part is delayed, it can affect the whole process, even causing claim denials. That's why communication and teamwork are so important. I always try to remind, support, and communicate with my coworkers to help things run smoothly. Every success we have is a result of everyone's time and effort. I also like to share a fun moment from April 17, 2025. Our office held a push-up contest as part of the Mount Sinai Health System Fit Initiative. It brought so much laughter and energy to our team. Staff from all floors came together, cheered each other on, and just had fun. It was not just a contest, it was a chance to connect. I'm very grateful to all doctors and volunteers who participated. I will be sharing some great pictures from that day. I'm proud to be part of the team that supports one another, works hard, and lifts each other up every day. Thank you again for this recognition. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, Jason. And I would love to see some photos of the push-up challenge, but those things are just events unless someone brings the heart, which you've been described as being, into an event like that that creates an opportunity for engagement and networking and joy together. That takes someone who creates that experience within the event. It's an event or an experience, and you made it an experience. And I love that you hear every step of that patient process. That's why you're also the heart, clearly. You're focused on it all. You're pumping that energy and that attention into every little piece of that patient experience. So wonderful story. Thanks so much for that passionate
Thank you.
response, Jason.
Thank you.
Excellent. Congrats to Jason. We're going to go, and thank you, Rebecca. We're going to go back to Andres. We're going to Mount Sinai Morningside. Now, I'm going to hold up. I think Catherine might still be away. Oh, she's back. All right, excellent. See, in an emergency department, Catherine Orlanis is maybe had to step away for a moment.
Hi.
I believe we have Catherine back. Welcome, Andres. We're going to go to you for this excellent story for our nurse, Catherine Orlanis.
Wonderful. Catherine is an emergency department nurse at Mount Sinai Morningside, and she showed great skill and poise during a difficult situation involving a 10-year-old. A nurse wrote to recognize Catherine, saying, quote, Cat placed an incredibly hard IV on a wiggling 10-month baby in respiratory distress. She demonstrated an impressive amount of skill both in directing the parents, swaddling a baby, and placing a challenging IV in a very tense environment. She projected a calm and comforting demeanor despite the pressures of the situation and was professional in front of very tearful parents.
Right, excellent. Thank you so much. And if people missed it for a moment there, it skipped a bit. It was a 10-month-old baby. And this was a star recognition from a colleague who wrote how impressed they were to see this talent. And I love a star recognition like this, Catherine. It's where a colleague really describes the behaviors they witnessed that left them impressed and inspired. And in this case, they recognized not just your clinical skill to place that IV, but how you handled the situation. And I wonder if you can share with us how you maintain a confident yet calming and comforting demeanor during a tense moment such as this.
I think it's all because of like the senior nurses. Like I really learned a lot from them um and how I was trained. I was part of the new grad program and I feel like I got like this knowledge and skills that I've learned from my other colleagues and um yeah. So I'm really grateful um that I was able to like handle that kind of situation and I wouldn't be um I mean I wouldn't be like this if not because of my other if not because of my workmates too.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Catherine. And it's so nice to hear you give, the credit of where you learned from the veterans that were there before you and how you've learned to do these types of skills and become expert at them. And now it's being written by someone who sees that in you. You're now that person for others, that you're the one that they're learning from and impressed by and saying, I need to be like Catherine, like how she handled that. Like that's what I need to strive for. So the torch has been passed. You're the mentor. You're the leader that people are looking to. And it's great to see, and I hope you enjoyed hearing that from a colleague through that star.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks so much, Catherine. Best luck to you back into your work in the emergency department. Thank you, Andres. We're going to go next to the FPA Access Center, where Sadika Horn, a leader there, is going to share a story for Giselle Rosario. Let's bring on up Giselle. All right. Oh, there we go. And Sadika, hi.
Good afternoon, everyone, and congratulations to all the honorees today. I am very excited to honor Giselle Rosario. Scheduling coordinator Giselle Rosario from the Access Center demonstrates outstanding teamwork in supporting colleagues and ensuring seamless patient care, leading to this recent star recognition from a patient encounter associate from the Respiratory Institute, which states Giselle has been a big help to the lung transplant team. She went above and beyond to schedule a CTA for 2 of our transplant patients. Ms. Giselle did not stop until she was able to accommodate us with appointments. She is a team player and genuinely cares for each patient she helps. Congratulations, Giselle.
Yeah, thank you so much, Siddiqa. And my favorite stars are the ones that come across departments. It's not the obvious where you get recognized and seen and valued by your colleagues and your direct peers, but someone from another department who really values and appreciates you and doesn't know where they can express it. Star is the place to go. And I'm so glad this colleague took time to recognize you, Giselle. And I'm wondering, and they really recognized your We Find a Way spirit too. And I'm wondering if you can share how you bring that We Find a Way approach to the commitment you make to accommodating our patients when you're scheduling their appointments.
Hi, thank you so much for this honor. I I feel like we schedule for everyone within the access for every department. So it's kind of hard to like accommodate patients. A lot of patients need an appointment like the next day. So um being able to help the lung transplant team to get them in as quickly as possible. I think they had to wait like probably like 3 days, but I was able to accommodate them as quickly as I could. Um I feel like I try my best when it comes to being able to schedule the patients.
Yeah. Well, it's wonderful, Giselle. And if you have anything else to add, you can jump in. But I love to hear that is a We Find a Way example, and it takes empathy. It says, it's not just okay. Well, this is what we have, and you go. You're clearly other departments are seeing the impact that you're scheduling of them. They're then hearing it from the patients that they got me in. I'm so relieved to have gotten this appointment. Yes, Giselle made it happen for me. They're within that communication with you, they're then coming and expressing it to the teams when they go in for their appointments. And that shows that they really valued the way you not only got them the appointment, but communicated with them and helped them feel like they were getting that special treatment. Really, really wonderful. Thank you so much, Giselle.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And Sadiqa, we'll see you again soon. Thank you so much for reading. We've got 3 stories left. It's our final category. This is that spotlight category. And the first one was, they're not from radiology, but Mount Sinai Health System radiology leadership recognized Michael Rodriguez. Let's bring Michael on up, and we'll have Kim come on back to share this story as Michael's at Mount Sinai Hospital. You're sideways right now, Michael, but that's all right. We can still see you.
I'm sorry about that. I tried to.
You're good.
Thank you, Steve. Here's the story. Even though he is not officially part of radiology, Mount Sinai Hospital radiology leadership was proud to recognize Materials Management Associate Michael Rodriguez as an integral and vital contributor to their success. Michael is incredibly dedicated and consistently shows great initiative to enhance our radiology department operations. His role in supply chain is crucial to radiology's complex operations, often requiring him to adapt and react swiftly to emergent cases.
Oh, no.
He never shies away from a challenge and always greets everyone with a smile and a can-do attitude. Michael is recognized as an outstanding team player and a consistently reliable colleague who tackles every task with a positive attitude and a strong work ethic. His professionalism and eagerness to support others truly distinguishes him. Please join us in expressing our sincere appreciation for Michael's excellence in service.
Yeah, thank you, Kim. Again, another We Find a Way example here, and your We Find a Way spirit that radiology recognized with you. They commented on your agility, your can-do attitude, and how you take initiative. And I'm wondering, Michael, if you can speak to your that proactive and collaborative approach you bring to your work that guides your everyday efforts here at Mount Sinai.
First, I want to say thank you for picking me for this Beyond the Badge. It's actually pretty good for me to know that people are actually noticing that the hard work that I actually put on in here. So when I come in here, I like to show everyone exactly the positiveness and helping everyone out. Like, it's always a helping hand. We're a team. We're not by ourselves. There's no like how can I say, I'm a little nervous. It's kind of but besides all that, it's just a great team effort. I like the fact that I learned from one of the best people and that was part of this team as well. So they taught me so much around here. I get great communications with all my leadership. So they always try to help me out as much, even if they see me going through a lot, So it's always the fact that I have support with my team.
Wonderful to hear you thank the team, Michael. And when you say that we selected you, it wasn't me, it wasn't Kim. We didn't pick you out of the hat. This was the senior leadership of radiology that said they didn't even pick a person in radiology. They said we need to say thank you to Michael. And on this System Daily Huddle, they wanted to share this story of how much they value and appreciate you. So this is our leadership here at the health system, really wanting you to know how much they really value you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Now, don't go far, Michael. Stay on because you're part of the team that was recognized in the next story. We have Jason Smith coming up. Kim's going to stay. This was a supply chain leadership for the health system. Recognize the story about Jason Smith. So let's bring Jason on up here. And it turns out Michael was part of the team that Jason was leading here for this effort. So Kim, let's hear the story.
All right. Supply chain corporate director Jason Smith has always been willing to assist others in any way possible. While he was the value analysis sourcing lead for Periop and CVIR, he was responsible for the team who helped realize $27 million in savings for the system from 2018 to 2021. His new role combines his value analysis responsibilities with the on-site management of the OR materials functionality at Mount Sinai Hospital. a more hands-on opportunity to be fully immersed in the movement and flow of the ORs. Jason has shown again that he will rise up and meet any and all challenges that are put before him. As a recent example, in an effort to improve patient, family, and staff safety and experience, Jason and his team partnered with anesthesiology technicians to clear the GP3 South hallway, which in this setting of Manhattan space challenges has been an area full of supplies going back more than 15 years. OR leadership thanks Jason and his team for their ongoing support. A shout out to the team involved in this story: Ronald Bautista, Chantel Pagan, Anthony Ramos, Taquan Jenkins, Shannon Ashley, Kobina Barima, and the celebrants we already honored today, Michael Rodriguez.
Yeah, there's Michael again. Jason, this is one example in the, over what, 4-year span when you saved $27 million. Huge responsibility and excellent work throughout your time at Mount Sinai. And just in this recent example, we hear how your team was proactive and creative to find a way to resolve an issue that had been a running concern over 15 years. So can you share a bit about your approach that is able to resolve something like that no one else could?
Hi, Stephen. I appreciate this recognition, but I do want to make it clear that my successes during my tenure have largely been due to the support, guidance, loyalty, and determination of the people around me, colleagues, staff, superiors alike. The issue you're referring to related to the removal of the supplies in the GP3 South Hallway at Mount Sinai Hospital actually was an easy fix. It did require us to quickly pivot and establish a new sustainable workflow. However, my staff and colleagues accommodated that new workflow and ensured that the initiative would be successful and sustainable. Change is not easy, but they carried out that vision and the responsibilities quickly and without complaints. I really can only be successful as the people around me allow me to be, and I appreciate their support and their belief in me. Mikey Rodriguez, who was just recognized before me, is really one of those key individuals. Other key supporters are Chantel Pagan, the manager of OR materials here at Mount Sinai Hospital, as well as Taquan Jenkins, one of our key OR materials associates, and he happens to be with me right now. I do want to thank him directly.
Pop your head in there.
And let him know I appreciate his support.
Thank you.
But
Thank you for the opportunity.
We appreciate the recognition. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you to your whole team. A wonderful story. And again, we're hearing that teamwork approach, that everyone recognizing that these stories aren't in silos. They're not one person doing this. It takes a team, and we rely on each other to come through. So I really appreciate you taking the time to thank your team, even with that extra handshake I see there. Thank you to you and to all of your team. And I love also the simple solution that you felt, but change is hard. So even when sometimes the answer is simple, to actually follow through with it and make it happen can be challenging. So to push through those challenges is that we find a way spirit too. Thanks so much, Jason. Thank you, Kim. You did an excellent job today, Kim, reading our stories. Welcome to the team. We got one more. Are you ready for our finale? We're going to Mount Sinai Health System Facilities Leadership. Ellen Song was recognized. We're going to go to Ellen next. I'm going to have my colleague, Alyssa Gianandrea, who's been backstage doing all this work for the program, and is a huge partner with me, who does all of our invitations and work on this. It's a corporate story, so I'm going to throw it to one of our corporate colleagues, Alyssa Gianandrea, to read for Ellen. Hey, Ellen.
Hello, everyone. Congratulations to all celebrants, and congratulations to you, Ellen. It is an honor to be able to read your story. So here it is. As a senior project manager in the Department of Planning, Design, and Construction, Ellen Song is responsible for managing complex healthcare projects in both hospital and ambulatory sites. Recently, Ellen was assigned to manage regulatory structural repairs for the hospital garage at the Morningside campus. Ellen succeeded in reducing the project cost by contracting directly with the restoration company. Her management and supervision of this work minimized clinical disruptions, ensured approval of all required inspections, and allowed the garage to open 2 months ahead of schedule. In addition, with her exemplary technical and analytical skills, Ellen was asked to take on the closeout of ADA regulatory work in compliance with a settlement agreement. Ellen implemented a new process for tracking completion and approvals of corrective work and is now using this tracking software to help project managers at other campuses organize and complete work more efficiently. Thank you, Ellen. We are proud to have you as part of our facilities team.
Excellent. Thank you. And you gotta love when your work ends up benefiting other departments afterwards. Say, well, I did that for the work I was on, and now others are benefiting from what you created. And Ellen, I'd love to hear what's the core of the approach that you bring into these types of complex facilities projects that you know helps you ensure that success that you experienced on these projects and really all the projects you work on at Mount Sinai.
Hi, Steve. Thanks for having me. To answer your question, at the core of how we approach these projects here at PDC is always patient and people safety first. And that's what drives every decision we make here at PDC. And I feel really lucky to play even a small role in creating safe spaces for patients and the staff here at Mount Sinai to make sure that they have the support that they need to do, what we do best every day. And even though these projects are complex, the recipe for success is always, clear communication, trust, and shared accountability. And I'm really grateful that, we work for a team that really cares and proud to help Mount Sinai find a way to build great places for everyone to work. Thank you.
Wonderful. I love the safety first. That's always our first value. And your modesty on saying you play a small part in that you clearly play a very large role across our entire health system and all of our facilities on very important safety projects like this. Love it. And I love the leadership lessons on your technique and that shared accountability and safety first. Really excellent. So thank you so much, Ellen. Congrats to you. Thank you, Alyssa. That is going to wrap up our show for today. That was not just our 800th story. It was our 5th month. It was the May stories for our 4th year of doing this. And we continue to do this every month. A story was shared on the System Daily Huddle today. One person was recognized on that huddle this morning, like there is done every morning. And we're collecting those stories, and we will be back for those in another month. Although our June stories are already set and packaged, invites are out. August 8th, come on back and join us next time, August 8th, to be inspired once again with another collection of stories of our colleagues and teams going beyond the badge.